Hey everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk. I'm your host, Brittany Freeman, and I'm joined by the current Miss Merrimack, Kylie Curto. Welcome.
Oh, thank you.
How are you doing today?
I'm well. I'm preparing for Miss New Hampshire in 2 short weeks. So it's stressful, but extremely exciting. I can't wait.
Now, I have to say, you did bring some bling with you.
I did.
Now, did your head hurt or anything like that?
No, it's actually, I can bend all the way down, go all the way back. It doesn't hurt at all.
Have you tested the limits to what you can do? Have you tried jumping in it or doing anything strenuous in it?
Well, I really wanted to go ziplining with it, but I decided that wasn't a great idea, so I left it at home.
If you do, you have to make sure to do like a video and you can make it
like
go
a
viral.
GoPro.
Yes.
Yes, GoPros are the best.
I don't know if anyone's ever done ziplining with a crown before, but you could be the first, and then maybe you could get like 1 million hits.
Yeah,
and then
you'll break a world record.
You'll be the famous girl for going ziplining with a crown on. And then if you add the sash, you'll have to contact the records and everything. So basically, I want to talk a little bit about everything of this is going on here.
Yeah.
There are 4 points to the crown. This is the Miss America crown. Tell a little bit about, now people don't know that each point represents something.
Yes. So there is success, style, scholarship, and service. And all 4 of those points represent something very special to the title holder. Service, we have our platforms that each individual does. Scholarship is a scholarship program, so we get money for school. Style, we have to be,
looking fabulous,
well represented. She was last one.
Let's see, we did scholarship,
service, style, and success.
Yes.
Of course, success. To me, success is very subjective to each individual, though. So I think each title holder has a different definition of what success means to them. And to me, it's really just about being happy and fulfilling just my passions in life.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing, that girls could see you wearing a crown, but they don't know that each point actually represents something. They just think you're wearing some bling on your head. So I always think it's nice to know that every time you put that on, everything that you just listed, it means something to you.
Agree.
It's not just a nice little accessory, which I mean...
Which it still is, don't get me wrong.
So let's go back to last October.
Okay.
November. Sometime last year. I don't know. We're already almost halfway through this year.
I know.
Exactly. So take me back a little bit. It was at the Miss Merrimack pageant, which is right at Merrimack High School, which we could literally walk to. I don't know if you know the reference around here, but you could literally walk to where you won. So let's kind of go through that. Had you competed a lot previously to that?
So last year, 2016, was actually the first year I competed in pageants. And I started in August, so I had done 4 previous pageants before Miss Merrimack. And in those 4 pageants, I learned so much. I had so many wonderful girls help me with interview, with my style, just prepping in general, that really got me ready for Miss Merrimack.
Yes, and what made you get involved?
So I actually was originally in the USA program, and I had gone into a bridal store that sponsors women for the organization. And she goes, "No, what are you doing? You have to join the Miss America program." And that's how I got started.
Wow. So you didn't know anything about it before, and it was someone had mentioned it to you.
Nothing.
And okay, we have to talk a little bit about it. We have the Miss USA system and we have the Miss America system. A lot of times, if someone hears your Miss New Hampshire, they don't even know the difference, or you might get asked. Donald Trump doesn't even own that organization anymore, but people could ask, "Oh, are you in Donald Trump's program?" Because they don't know all the different things. So if someone maybe out there doesn't know the difference between Miss USA and Miss America, could you just kind of maybe tell the difference about them a little bit?
Yeah, so first let's start with the Miss America program, a nonprofit organization that is for scholarships for young women, including myself. And what we have to do is we have a platform. So we have to have some sort of service that is close to us, or that we want to see a change in the future, and that we really stick ourselves to and really want to make a difference for. And with the Miss USA program, there is no community service, there is no talent. it is mostly for girls who definitely want to get their name out there and want to get their confidence out there. But Miss America definitely is more with service than the USA program is.
Well, I know Miss USA, they do different events with Best Buddies and other charities, but I think they might be different a little. They work with different organizations. With Miss America, I believe they work with the Children's Miracle Network.
Yep, yes we do.
And so I believe Miss America and Children's Miracle Network have a pretty strong connection. As part of your title, don't you have to raise funds for the Children's Miracle Network?
Yes, we do have a minimum fund that we have to raise for Miss New Hampshire and for any local title, as a matter of fact, as well. The minimum is a bit lower, but for states, we do have to raise a minimum amount for Children's Miracle Network.
So to compete in the actual locals, because there are locals that you have to win, like for instance, Miss Merrimack, you have to win that to compete at Miss New Hampshire. How much did you have to fundraise? Because there isn't an actual entry fee to compete at the local, but you have to raise a certain amount of money for Children's Miracle Network.
Yes.
Correct?
So for each local, you have to raise a minimum of $100 until you get to $500. After that $500, you technically don't have to do anything until states, but it's still a great thing to do to keep donating because 100% of that money goes to Children's Miracle Network.
And do you have to donate a separate amount after you won Miss Merrimack, then you compete at Miss New Hampshire? Is there a separate fee for that?
There is a separate fee. There's a $250 that you have to raise for that.
Okay, and then something I'm not even sure about, is there a separate fee than if you win Miss New Hampshire for Miss
To be
America?
honest, I'm not sure on that.
I wasn't sure if it was like 500. I honestly, I'm not even sure.
I definitely still think, even if there isn't, to still keep donating because
absolutely,
it's still a great organization that we're paired with.
Well, I always like to ask because for me, and one of the reasons for doing this show is just to let girls out there know what's involved when it comes to competing, because a lot of times they want to compete but they don't always know. Like, this was your first time winning a title.
Yes.
You may not have known everything that was involved before you signed up. So it's good to know, and it's amazing to donate for all these kids and with the Children's Miracle Network. But I think it is important to know too that there are different funds that have to be raised to compete, just because it is part of the overall process. Now, since you've won Miss Merrimack, what appearances have you done? What have you done to get out there?
So I was in the Merrimack Christmas Parade, which was so much fun. And actually, I have been extremely busy with school. I'm graduating in May, but I have made appearances with the United Mitochondrial Foundation of New Hampshire back in North Andover, where my school is. I actually go to Merrimack College. Funny coincidence. People always ask me, "Are you Miss Merrimack College?" No, not quite.
You just love Merrimack.
I just love Merrimack, I guess.
How perfect is it? I mean, it's perfect.
My boyfriend's from Merrimack, Mass. It's just, I have so many connections to Merrimack.
They're without the K, right?
They're without the K.
Okay.
Yeah, they're without, we'll just chop that. They're without the K. But yeah, so I've done a lot. Actually, my sorority's been great, and I've done a lot with them as well. They've been great sisters in supporting me through this entire thing. So it's really, I've just been kind of getting mitochondrial disease out there and doing it at school. It's a great place to do it.
Have you done anything with the Miss America organization?
Yes, actually. We just did Miss America Serves this past weekend, and I had the opportunity to go to the New Hampshire Food Bank in Manchester, and we served food to over 400 families that day.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Have you ever done anything like that
I have
before?
never done any. I've done small scale food drives when, like 50, 60 people show up and just grab some food, but I was astonished at the amount of fresh fruit and vegetables that they had for these people. And they are there every Saturday, including that snowstorm last week. They were out there. Yep.
I mean, that's with Mother Nature and living up here in New England. You never know what you're going to get. You have a snowstorm one weekend, you'll have 80 degrees.
Yesterday was 80 degrees.
I mean, one day you need a big snow jacket. The next day you need a swimsuit and you're going to the beach. So I can't keep up with that. That's just the beauty of living in New England. So I'm curious, you're Miss Merrimack.
Yes.
And what prep have you done to lead up to Miss New Hampshire? What's involved?
So I actually have a substantial amount of prep work to do for this that a lot of people I don't think see. You think they go up on stage, you waltz around in beautiful dresses, which is fun.
Of course.
But there's a lot of prep work that we do, including my talent, which you had choreographed. So I have been going through my talent. I have a list of 200 interview questions that I have my family ask me on a daily basis. I will make funny faces at myself in the mirror to practice. And I'm very fortunate because I have a dance studio at my school, and I'm practicing in my heels at least 5 to 6 times a week whenever I can get in there. So there's definitely a substantial amount of prep work that goes into it that a lot of people don't see.
Now, one of the phases is swimsuit competition.
Yes.
You have an amazing body. Have you been doing anything to prep for that?
So I've always been a fitness junkie. I've danced for 14 years, and then I got into kickboxing and CrossFit recently, and that has just kicked my butt into shape.
That will, with all the weight and sweat and
but it
all
feels
of that.
great. It's great afterwards, and it keeps me in shape. But what's great about this program actually is they're not focused on how skinny you are and how perfect you look, but they want to see you healthy and fit, and that's one of the reasons why I love this organization so much.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, something that I was curious about, why do you want to be Miss New Hampshire?
Oh my goodness, that's a big question. I think I would love to be Miss New Hampshire just to be that role model for people that, you know, little girls and even adults can look up to. And especially with my platform that doesn't get a huge amount of awareness, it would shed so much light on it, and it would bring a lot of attention to it.
And who's your biggest role model?
I would have to say my grandmother. I would not be competing in these pageants if it was not for her. This outfit, my dress, she is there for me no matter what I need, and she's a godsend.
Family is the best.
Yes.
I'm very close to my grandmother as well, both my grandmothers, so I know what it's like to be like that. Now, you have your platform.
Yes.
Now, you win Miss New Hampshire. What will you do with that on the state level?
On the state level, I would love to travel to as many states as I could. Currently, I'm an ambassador for the program, which actually means that I just take calls and emails for people who have the disease, who maybe just need somebody to talk to. But I am slowly moving into becoming an advocate as well, which is someone who speaks before media and before state congressmen and women to show the research of what mitochondrial is and what it's also linked to.
Now, if you win Miss New Hampshire, you go on, you win Miss America, and I know. Got big plans for you, Miss Kylie. What could you do with that on a national level? How would you make this a national platform?
Oh my goodness. If I could, just travel the world and reach as many people as I could. There's actually, how I got it started into mitochondrial disease was through a family friend named Abby. She is 5, and they have these great programs with her right now. Now, she's not able to attend school every day because her immune system is very weak. So if I were to go on this on a national level, I would make sure every child who cannot attend school can have this technology. So let me tell you what it is. It is a robot that almost has an iPad hooked to it, and she also has an iPad. So the robot is in class, and she's FaceTiming.
No way.
So she's able to attend class without actually being there if she is too ill to be in class.
Oh my goodness.
So if I were to win, I would try to get the money and raise the money to get that technology to children who can't be in the classroom, which would be amazing.
Because there's a lot of sick children out there that, that have different diseases and different things that are going on. That would be amazing.
Yeah.
I think that almost all schools, if able to, should offer something like that because...
Yeah, not even children with mitochondrial, just children in general who maybe aren't able to attend school.
Well, in the future, and they keep building schools with newer technology and this and that would almost be a great program to have. Think about it, if a kid is out sick, there'll be no excuse why they don't have everything done. They want to be sick.
Oh no, children might not like me now.
You could still, I'm sure you're still on your phone, you're still on your iPad, then you could get a lot of kids that way, couldn't you?
That's true, yeah.
Now something a little bit lighter. Who is your celebrity crush?
Oh, celebrity crush. I love Chris Hemsworth. He's dreamy. Oh, yes, very tall. I'm tall myself. I'm almost 5'8". So he is.
So I need someone a little bit taller than you.
A little bit taller than me. Oh, he's way taller. He's like 6'3". Yeah.
So you can wear heels too.
I can wear heels too, which is I love wearing heels, which is the best. Yeah, definite celebrity crush, definitely Chris Hemsworth.
And if you could get any celebrity to play you in a movie, who would it be and why?
Oh, I love Emma Stone.
I see that. I
love her. Her personality, she's so bubbly, she's so carefree, and I feel like on some personality levels we match up. And she's also very sarcastic sometimes and stubborn, so I like that. She's a go-getter.
Yes, I like that. Did you see the recent movie that she was in?
No, I haven't. It was at La La Land.
Yes.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm gonna have to watch it though.
I know she wears a red, I think like a yellow dress in it. I did see it. What are some misconceptions about girls who compete in pageants, do you think?
I think a lot of misconceptions, even I had this before I competed, was, they have money, all they have to do is go up on stage and just look pretty and answer some questions and voila, they win. And I never had this misconception, but a lot of people still have it about organizations that pageant girls are quote unquote not the smartest, which what we're doing is the complete opposite of that stereotype. This is a scholarship program, and all of us work very hard with our platforms and very hard with GPAs so we can get scholarship money for school. So that's one stereotype I want people to just not talk about anymore.
And what do you think the relevance of a beauty pageant is in today's society?
In today's society, I can say it has boosted my confidence so much. I wouldn't even be here with you right now talking about this because my public speaking was horrendous. My face would turn beet red.
Well, you could have fooled me.
Oh my goodness, my lips would shake, and that first pageant I did, I was a mess. But the more pageants I did, the more I'm like, yeah, this is great. And now doing school projects, I'm like, this is a no-brainer. I can go up in front of 20 of my peers and no problem.
And that's what it's all about, because
yes.
You want to succeed in other areas.
Yes, so definitely life skills have been built through this program.
And that's what people don't always understand about
yes.
competing, is that you learn so many different values and skills that help you in other areas. It's not just about wearing the crown and winning
yes.
the crown. It's about being good in your overall life. Even after you're not Miss Merrimack anymore, yes. You want to keep excelling.
Yes.
And another question I had for you was, where do you see yourself in 15 years? How will you be in 15 years?
How old will I be? I will be 36.
Okay.
36.
Oh, my!
No, 36 is still young. Oh,
yes,
my goodness.
Yes.
36, still live and vibrant.
Yes.
I would love to have a family one day. Hopefully I'll be settled down. I actually want to go into health communications and epidemiology, which is research with like mitochondrial disease, and I look at, certain patterns, for example, like obesity. That's what epidemiologists look at right now. Hopefully I'm in a warmer climate. I actually really don't like the cold very much. I'm very jealous that you live in Florida because I wish I was there all year round. So hopefully I'm just established and I've accomplished my goals, but I've also set new goals for myself because, you don't stop learning and growing. So that's where I hope I am.
Now, you mentioned obesity, so is that an area that you would like to be studying
yes.
down the road? Now,
yes.
What do you think could possibly be done? Because it is a pretty big epidemic.
Yeah, it is a huge epidemic. I mean, our food system and food politics, everything tied into it, is just a very complex system. But I think what we can do is we can just start trying to make those whole foods cheaper for people, but then also the underlying problem is, will people choose those whole foods if their prices are slashed? So like I said, it's very complex. They've talked about a sugar tax before, which I think would be great, but I still think people would be,
I believe there is a state.
There might.
Yes.
I don't remember off the top of my head what state it is.
But they did impose a soda tax.
Yes. And it just all goes back to the food we subsidize, our commodities, our corn, our wheat. Corn is pretty much in everything. So our food system, needs to have a drastic change, I think, really before our obesity problem.
Well, it's funny. I was actually recently on vacation, and I was speaking to someone who in another state owns a manufacturing plant that makes one of the top soda products out there, and I asked if that was affecting their bottom line, because people, I think, are starting to cut back a little bit.
Yeah.
And he said he did, but they also manufacture water and also the little frappuccinos for a major coffee brand and all of that. So they're finding ways to sell. They're still making money. But I asked them that because I thought, well, if people are starting to drink less soda, that could affect their pocketbook a little bit. But no, they always find ways. But I do think that if they did slash the prices on fruits and things like that, that would make a big difference, because I grocery shop and I have 2 small children.
Right.
And of course I buy healthy things for them, and they love fruit. I swear we go through the bananas and the strawberries and the oranges and the apples and all that. And it is a lot more expensive than if you go to get the less expensive snacks or pastas and this and that, which I get them the better items. But depending on what the person's budget is, you know, sometimes they might not have that option. I mean, even orange juice, you go and that's like $6 just for, you know. And, And so ridiculous. You go to get a soda that's about the same size and it's a fraction of the cost.
Right.
So, yeah, even water sometimes.
Oh my gosh, even water. I know. Goodness.
You have to laugh at what we pay for water sometimes. All right. You won the lottery. $1 million. Which isn't even that much these days.
I know,
but it's still a lot, okay?
Yes.
Now people are like, $1 million? No, that's a lot of money, okay? What would you do with it?
I know exactly what I would do with it. My parents, my mom's probably going to kill me for saying this, but we've lived in a 2-bedroom apartment since I was born, and there's 5 of us.
Oh my goodness.
So
you love each other a lot.
We love each other so much. Honestly, what I would do with a portion of that money is build them a house, let them go on vacation. My parents work extremely hard, and I would love to be able to do that for them. They've given me everything I've ever needed without complaining once about money. Also, what I would do, most certainly pay off my student loans.
Of course. Oh my goodness.
Yes, I am.
That's why you're competing in this program.
Up to here.
That's one of the points. Scholarship.
Yeah. Scholarship. But I still think that, you know, donations are important, and I would obviously, with my platform, have to donate, or would want to donate to mitochondrial.
Because it's so big, and I do want to talk about, what does it look like? Because I don't know a lot about this mitochondrial disease. Like, what are the symptoms? What does it look like?
Okay. So mitochondrial disease is a DNA mutation. The mitochondria, surprise, we all have mitochondria in every living cell in our body, and it's called the powerhouse because it provides 90% of the energy we need just for bodily functions, brain function, muscle function. And mitochondrial disease is one of the most underdiagnosed diseases in the world because it takes on so many forms. It can look like
people going to the WebMD and everything like that, and they could probably a bunch of other things pop up that they put on their symptoms.
It can look like Alzheimer's. It can look like Parkinson's disease. The severity of it is such a wide range. I mean, people could just have muscle fatigue, or some people could have seizures. And it mainly affects your large muscle groups, including your brain and your heart.
Well, those are important.
Yes, those are very important.
So what happens to you when you get this disorder? Like, how does it affect your life?
I mean, I know for Abby, her immune system is extremely weak. So if she catches the slightest cold, I mean, she's been in the hospital for weeks at a time before. And that can be very debilitating, especially on her and the family because she's so young.
Of course.
But as I said, since there's such a spectrum of mitochondrial disease, some people may just have some muscle fatigue and be able to deal with it. But with Alzheimer's, that affects thousands of people each year. So it's a very unpredictable disease that they still don't know a whole lot about.
Are there any treatments?
There are no treatments or cures. There are some medications that can help, strengthen your immune system. They can lessen muscle fatigue, but there is no cure for mitochondrial.
It's very difficult with autoimmune disorders. A lot of people don't know that I have an autoimmune disorder that can make me paralyzed sometimes and affect me tremendously. And there's no cure for it or anything like that. And I got mine actually from a vaccination, and that's why you gotta be careful with those sometimes because you can get I developed Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is something that you can develop from any type of vaccination. So that's why you always got to read the fine print with different things like that.
I bet you do research now.
Oh, I do, especially with children. They get their primaries, but for some of the other things. Now, is there any type of testing, like, to diagnose it?
There is. So what's actually great over the last 10 years is they can do genetic testing now. So they have found out that your parents can have a predisposition for it.
Oh, wow.
So genetic testing is definitely the biggest test that they do. You can also do, urine samples, blood testing. They can also do eye samples and neurological samples as well.
And when they do that, they might actually find other things, too, which if you're having different symptoms, okay, you might not have this, but you have this.
So say for seizures, there are medications for seizures, that can help it. But if it is specifically connected to mitochondrial, there's no treatment for that. But you can treat the symptoms of it.
Well, you said her name was Abby?
Yes.
Well, I wish all the best for Abby, and that's why you're fighting, because you want to help her and all the other kids out there, and that's why with your platform, with being Miss Merrimack, you're really on the fight to go out there and make a difference, because it is a topic that people don't know as much about. Well, I want to thank Kylie for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
If you are interested in competing in Miss Merrimack, the upcoming pageant will be October 1st. We have the teen program, which starts at around 8th grade, age 13, and then the Miss goes all the way up to about 23 or 23, so. And there's different eligibility requirements, but it's a fun program. I do the choreography for it. We have a great director, Miss Kristen Janelle, who's in the back with her daughter, who's adorable. We want to thank Brittany's Boutique for sponsoring this jumpsuit today, and I want to thank Kylie for being here.
Thank you so much.
We look forward to seeing you next time on Let's Talk.